Many of you till now still don't know, when you are posed with the question, which formula do I use? Do I use future value or do I use present value? Because they look exactly the same. The only thing, the one says 1 plus I to the power n minus 1, and the other one said 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus n. So which formula do you use when you want to calculate your monthly installment? When do you use each of these types? Very simple. I'm going to give you a simple acronym for you to remember. Like we did in all our other topics, I gave you a system to understand. Let's give you a system here. Just remember FSPL. If you can remember FSPL, right? I don't know, make up something with it. Some of you who have been using our DVD sets already, you already know this. Flippin' stupid people. Just remember flippin' stupid. So the whole of finance for grade 12 is summarized by FSPL. What does it stand for? Future value for savings. So we're going to be using our future value for savings, or what we call a sinking fund. Another word for savings is a sinking fund. Why do we call it sinking? Sinking means going down. So we're working towards an amount. If some of you are parents, mothers, fathers watching the show, you want to redo your whole kitchen and you want 200, you know it's going to cost you 200,000 rand, because I mean that's a typical Indian kitchen today. 200 grand is what Indians spend on a I know it's insane, it's madness, but 200 grand is what they spend on a kitchen. So you know, the wife is putting a lot of pressure on you. Poor husband, shame, gets up 5 o'clock in the morning, slogs the whole day just because he needs a Gagano kitchen for his wife. So anyway, he needs 200 grand to renovate the kitchen, because she will not keep quiet until he renovates that kitchen for her. So in any case, he needs 200 grand to build up a kitchen, but he doesn't have that kind of cash. So he opens up a sinking fund. He says, don't worry, to pacify, to save his marriage. So he's got an extension, a new lease on his marriage for 5 years, right? He tells his wife, hang on for 5 years. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to open up a sinking fund. I'll open it up for 5 years at a financial institution, right? Haram for us Muslims. He puts it into a fund and he wants to now accrue interest. So he will now put in monthly into a fund. In 5 years' time, he will take his debit card, or he'll go to the bank, take out the 200,000 rand, and he will go and give it to his wife and say, here, knock yourself out, go and do what you want. So in any case, that is a sinking fund. You are working towards an amount. So another word for savings is sinking fund. We use the future value formula. Future value, flippin' stupid people. Future value for savings or sinking fund. And we use the present value formula. So future value formula for savings or sinking fund. Present value formula for loans. L represent loans. So whenever you're taking out a loan, you're borrowing money, right? Some of you, 99% of everyone, their houses are not paid up. It's mortgaged. It's bonded to the bank. The bank owns it, not you, right? You've taken out a loan. You've taken out a loan for 1.2 million, 5 million, 10 million. The minute you take out a loan, when you want to calculate what is your monthly installment on that loan for 30 years. So now you can do your own calculations at home. So even if you're intending to buy a house, stay tuned to this episode, because after this break, after our next break, we're now going to be doing examples of if you want a 2 million rand house, 1.5, you want to calculate your own affordability. You don't need to go to a bank. That's what the show is here, to show you how we can use this formula in order to calculate your affordability, whether you can afford to repay a loan of say 1.2 million rand over a period of 30 years, and what your monthly installments will be. Okay, so we're almost there for our next ad break. I hope you've taken down these formulas. Let's now go into, let's erase and let's start cracking, let's start going into the nyama, into the meat of today's episode, and that is future value. So let's start off with the future value annuity, right? You've already started in grade 12s. We're already exam time, so we're about to cut for an ad break. I'm going to give you some information, and after the break, when we get back from the break, we will actually work out the memo. So you open up a sinking fund. That's the question in the exam. I'm not going to write the whole thing out. I'm just going to give you the vital information. You open up a sinking fund and you need 250,000 rand in your fund. Okay, the interest rate is, let's say, 13% per annum, compounded monthly. You take it over 5 years, right? Your period is 5 years. Calculate your monthly installment or repayment into the fund for 4 marks. Could be 4 to 5 marks. That's the question, guys. You need a sinking fund for 250,000 rand to do the kitchen. Interest rate that the bank will give you is 13% per annum compounded monthly. The period that you want it over is 5 years. You want to now calculate what will your monthly repayment be into the fund.